if we can get our head around the fact that an emotion is a trapped bundle of energy, which we can then release, which drops the voltage. That's what I should have said as well. What emotions do from a body electric standpoint is they drop the voltage in your circuitry. So it drops the voltage in an organ, which then creates the illness. So if we can go and test for these emotions, we let the emotions out, and then that's when the magic happens. And it's sometimes when we release emotions from, say, a shoulder pain or a knee pain, or because we can do this with pain as well. A lot of people have joint pains and hip pain, lower back pain, migraines. You can go ahead and release the emotions, and the effect can be near on immediate. Mm. And with other things, it takes a bit of time for the body to adjust once the energy is released. One of the talks was on emotions leading to cancer. And at the time, I just couldn't compute how emotions can create a physical illness. I wasn't at the right frequency to hear it. And it wasn't until a few years later, when I was really going down the emotional quest, if you will, to figure out what that was all about, I discovered Dr. Bradley Nelson, who wrote the Emotion Code, and there's other authors as well, but I love to give credit where it's due. And he explained emotions as electromagnetic bundles of energy. So it's stored as bundles of energy. They have an energetic mass, like it's an actual mass of energy. And understanding the body electric, you know, I talked a little bit about how I discovered the body electric, that whole thing with EMFs that caused me to go and research, or inspired me to go and research the body electric. So connecting emotions, trapped emotions, with the body electric is where the penny dropped for me. If emotions are electromagnetic bundles of energy, whenever we have an event in our lives, and it could be as small as an argument with a sibling when you're 5 years old or 10 years old, or a parent or whatever, or something that happened in school, and it just jolted us, it kind of throws us off, and it takes us out of alignment, that can leave an energetic imprint. Now, it might be much worse, of course, and some people have been through tremendous trauma, which also leaves an energetic imprint. So the beauty about this process is we can actually release the energy without talking about the event. Talk therapy can actually make it worse, believe it or not. Obviously, it has its place, but it can make it worse because of a term in neuroscience. It says nerve cells that fire together, wire together, or neurons that fire together, wire together. You probably heard that one. So the more energy we give to a trauma, the more that becomes more of a thing. We give all this energy to, we talk about something and talk about something and talk about, that energy expands, it doesn't contract. So what I like to do, and that makes it worse. So what I like to do is help people release the energy without talking about the event. And they don't have to even talk, they don't have to go there. And that's somatic release. And my main method is the emotion code. So we can actually use kinesiology to find out the names of the emotions, where they were stored. This is very similar to Louise Hay as well. So for example, anger is often stored in the liver, and grief in the lungs. So if we can go and find out what the names of the emotions are, where they were stored, if we need to find out when they were stored, we can do that as well. And then we can just go and release it very, very quickly in seconds. And then we can test the body again to see if it was released.
You do this in person or also online?
Or remote.
Yeah.
So which is amazing as well, because it's energy, we can do it all remotely. Mm-hmm. It's one of the greatest gifts. Most people won't even go here when they have an illness. They won't go there because we need to, but like me, I wasn't ready for it in 2016. I just couldn't compute how an emotion could lead to a physical illness. I just wasn't ready.